Today on UI7 Newsbreak,
A 2009 murder investigation is refocused.
and violence in Urbana is causing the community to speak out.
Your UI7 Newsbreak starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 Newsbreak, your U of I news source.
Good morning, I'm Ralph.
And I'm Karina Rodriguez.
5 years after 22-year-old Holly Casano was murdered, the Champaign County Sheriff's Office announced they were refocusing their efforts on the investigation.
Casano's mother says it has been hard, but she needs her daughter's killer to be found. Holly Casano was more than just a daughter to Tony Casano. Since she was murdered, nothing has been the same for Tony.
She was my best friend. If I need someone to talk to, I knew I could pick up the phone and call her. Unfortunately, Heaven doesn't have a phone. Can't call her.
5 years ago, Tony Casano found her daughter here at her home in Castlewood Estates in Mahomet. The memory has haunted Tony ever since.
What I saw was the worst thing ever. No NCIS, no Law and Order, none of those shows that you see on TV could compare to the images that I have in my head every day.
Police found blood from what they believe to be Holly's attacker at the crime scene, but after over 100 DNA swabs, they still haven't found the killer. That's why two new investigators, Lieutenant Kurt Apperson and Chris Starr, have been assigned to the cold case for a period of 30 days to bring fresh eyes to the investigation, one riddled with thousands of documents. Mahomet businesses and individuals have also pledged $5,500 as a reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the killer.
We need tips. We need leads. Murders such as this are like a big puzzle. There's many pieces to it. You need to have all the pieces to the puzzle to complete a puzzle.
And for Tony Casano, what would it mean to finally find her daughter's killer after 5 years?
It would mean no more having to wear this shirt and explaining to people that we're still looking for a person that killed my daughter. It would mean the next chapter of my life would start.
Anyone with information can call Crime Stoppers at 217-373-TIPS. Karina Rodriguez, UI7 Newsbreak.
Last week, a man was shot on the 600 block of Goodwin Avenue. While police are still searching for a suspect in the connection with the shooting, the Urbana community has begun to speak out. Last Tuesday, a man walked into the emergency room of Presence Covenant Medical Center after being shot only a block away. He was then rushed to Carl to undergo surgery. Recent crime waves have begun to affect the community and raise awareness of their personal safety.
It has a scary effect. People stay more in their homes. So, they locking doors. They don't want to talk to people readily if you knock on doors and stuff. And it's just making people more scary, more adverse with the community.
The shooting happened 3 blocks away from this elementary school, only an hour after the students were released. Urbana citizens now feel like the safety of their youth is in their hands.
We need to have some place for these kids to go. And somebody need to talk to. A lot of kids that's troublemakers or stuff, they say, Eric, if I just had somebody to spend some time with me, if I had somebody to talk to, that I could come talk to anybody, they can come talk to me about anything.
Lieutenant Robert Fitzgerald says that students should take proper precautions to avoid these situations.
For students, especially on the campus area, the thing is know your surroundings. Don't walk in alleys or offside roads. Walk in well-lit areas. Have a buddy with you, someone walking with you at all times.
Both Champaign and Urbana police departments are doing their best to keep the streets of campus and the community safe. Ralph Cooper, UI7 Newsbreak.
There has been a recent crime wave on campus, but the Champaign and University of Illinois police departments still want students to feel safe. That's why university police have deployed extra uniformed and plainclothes officers. In October, there were 12 incidents of mob action and robbery in the campus area. In many of the cases, the victims were walking in the early hours of the morning when they were approached by a group of 5 to 6 black men who then battered and robbed them. UIPD advises students to walk in pairs at night or to call safe rides. After the break, you'll hear about a new election law that left many students unhappy.
And with temperatures dropping, some farmers are still not done with their harvest.
The state of Illinois has a new claim to fame. Stay tuned for more on UI7 Newsbreak.
Ballerina.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 6. To me, being the first person to go to college, it's like setting a standard, you know? My little brother is 8 years old now. I challenge his curiosity. I challenge him to dream. I have to paint a picture for him that he can look up to and live up to and possibly be better than. My name is Jaquez, and I am your dividend.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
A new voting law allowed community members to register to vote on Election Day. University students wish the location was closer to campus. UI7 Newsbreak's Emily Thornton reports.
826 people registered to vote on Election Day at the Champaign County Clerk's office. This one-time law was enacted to make sure all citizens who want to vote at the last minute are able to. But for some students at the university, the location was not convenient at all.
I don't have a car on campus, so I would have to figure out the bus system, how to get there, and if the bus doesn't get there, then figure out what I have to do after I get off the bus.
Tulicki was unable to vote in the election because she did not change her address early enough.
Some students think that they would be more likely to cast their ballot if they could register to vote on Election Day at the Illini Union.
The university's student body president went to the Champaign County Clerk's office over a week ago asking for the Illini Union to also be a location for voters to register on Election Day. However, there was not enough time before the election to make that happen. Champaign County Clerk Cordy Halton explains that legislators will decide the future of the law.
There are a number of election-related issues that the legislators are going to consider after this election. Some of this stuff I think they implemented as a trial period. They want to see how it works. They want to see what the demand is for it so that they can then tweak it and adjust it moving forward.
It is unknown if the law will be in place for future elections. If so, students hope another location will be closer to campus. Tulicki wishes she could have cast her ballot at a convenient location because she believes her vote matters.
The students' vote is very important because it gives more of a broader range of opinions than just, let's say, adults off campus that have a better opportunity to get to these places.
In Urbana, Emily Thornton, UI7 Newsbreak.
Chancellor Phyllis Wise will give an address in Chicago today at 11:30 a.m. The State of the Campus address will be held in the Grand Ballroom of the Palmer House. The Chancellor will highlight the past year's accomplishments as well as share the campus's strategic vision for the future. The event is sponsored by the Illinois Alumni Association.
U of I salaries increased by about 3% for the 2014 to 2015 academic year, but how the money is being distributed is raising some questions. According to the U of I's Associate Vice President, Randy Congas, the raise for the current academic year amounts to $27.6 million. The Champaign-Urbana campus is taking the majority of the raise, taking home $21 million compared to the Chicago and Springfield campuses. Much of the payroll increases on campuses are going to the football and basketball coaching staff, which raises eyebrows in a public university that is supposed to value education first.
2 university researchers have been selected for a joint grant by the USDA and the Department of Energy. The grant totals over $12 million and will continue projects for improving bioenergy production. Professor Patrick Brown and Eric J. Sachs will continue their research to improve the breeding of bioenergy crops. Professor Sachs's project will specifically look to increase genetic diversity. By studying one type of plant, they hope to further increase the yield for another type.
We hope to be able to make new varieties that are of miscanthus for bioenergy that are better than the ones that we currently have, able to grow and produce more yield, able to grow in different environments where they aren't growing right now, and also to limit the risk of having just one variety.
A potential update in the Department of Homeland Security program could help keep immigrant families together. Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, was launched in June of 2012 to help undocumented immigrants who came to the United States as children. Those who arrived before the age of 16 are eligible for the program, which protects them from deportation and allows them to get a work permit for 2 years. Megan Flowers of the Champaign-Urbana Immigration Forum says there is now talk of allowing recipients to cover their families as well.
If that's the case, then over 500,000 people in Illinois would be eligible.
Flowers said they will know about any updates before the new year.
Over the weekend, local girls ran for a reason. The Girls on the Run program aims to inspire elementary school girls to be happy, healthy, and confident. Leading up to the race, the girls who participated in the program met twice a week for 3 months to exercise and build teamwork skills. The 5K marked the end of the Girls on the Run season and gave participants a chance to showcase all their hard work. The girls ran in teams and were given medals when they crossed the finish line. For some, the celebration ended too soon.
It just went so fast, and I did my best and I tried my best.
It's November, but corn and soybean farmers in Champaign County are not quite finished with this year's harvest. UI7's Caitlin Bain introduces you to one farmer who is still wrapping up the season.
Jacob Kessler has been a farmer for the last 5 years. Alongside his dad, Kessler farms about 2,000 acres of corn and soybean fields near Dewey. This year, yields are up, way up, in numbers Kessler has never seen before.
Yeah, every field of corn that we've harvested so far has been a new record for that field, and so far the beans have been quite a bit better than we expected them to be.
Champaign County Farm Bureau President Lynn Warfill says even though yields are up, prices are down.
The demand is actually pretty strong, but it's nowhere near the supply we have. So it's sort of like a snake that's trying to swallow an alligator. It's a big lump to try to swallow.
This year's cool, wet summer is a key to central Illinois' 30 to 50% boost in yields. But for farmers like Kessler, these low prices mean less income.
It just causes you to tighten your belt and work a little harder to be more efficient in your operation.
Now, farmers are going to have to wait a little bit longer for their paycheck this year. Typically, farmers have completed about 66% of the soybean harvest. Right now, they're only at 37%.
Across the state, the harvest was behind by about 20% at the end of October, but the end of the month's dry weather allowed farmers to catch up, closing that gap to only 10%.
You know, you can't control what the weather does, and that's part of the risk and the reward and the skill that it takes. You know, as a farmer, you have to manage all those risks.
This year's harvest delay was also the result of a wet spring, which pushed planting back about 2 weeks. From Dewey, this is Caitlin Bain, UI7 News.
The Guinness Book of World Records has certified a cow in Illinois to be the tallest on Earth. Blossom the cow stands just short of 6 foot 4 inches. The 13-year-old cow lives at Memory Lane Crafting Retreat just outside Orangeville, Illinois, near the Wisconsin border. Blossom has lived with her owner, Patty Hansen, since she was 8 weeks old. Hansen says she uses Blossom as a greeter at the farm, and now she's popular all over the world.
That's all the time we have for today. I'm Ralph Cooper.
And I'm Karina Rodriguez. Have a great day.